Yeah, hello and welcome to my today's shootout and modification video about the Nikon-F to MFT adapters you can see here. But before I show you the adapters and the pros and cons and the modifications in detail, I want to tell you why I'm making this video today. Yeah, I really read that often the question, and I also got that often the question, which adapter should I use for my Nikon-F mount lenses to mount them to my GH2, to my GH3 and so on. And normally 90% of the time, in forums especially, you get the recommendation, just get the Novoflex. And a few weeks, months, years ago, it was the best choice, but especially, for example, if you only want to use such old manual lenses with the aperture control ring or AFD lenses with the aperture control ring, you don't need this blue aperture control ring, it's blue on the Novoflex, on your adapter additionally. And the biggest problem with a Novoflex adapter is that it's extremely expensive. To be precise, it costs around 3 up to 4 times as much as all 4 other adapters which are lying here together. And so, especially if you want to try out the lens on your GH2, GH3, whatever you have, or if you want to borrow sometimes a lens, or if you want to try out the lens in a shop before you buy it, yeah, the Novoflex is simply too expensive. And so a few weeks, or let's say months ago, I thought, why not try out other adapters? And I began with these 2 Fotga adapters here. This one is the adapter without the aperture control, so you only can use it with older lenses where the aperture control is on the lens directly. And this is the AF-SG and AFG compatible Fotga adapter with the aperture control ring. And I also already reviewed them within my YouTube channel, but I can't recommend them anymore. The first problem is the particles which are falling off the Fotga adapters, which is a sign for bad coating quality. Yeah, they are a little bit annoying because you always have to look, are the adapters clean? Are there any particles inside the adapters? So you have to blow out everything and sometimes also clean out everything with a cloth or so. And the much bigger problem is the adapters are simply too short. So the flange distances of both adapters are too short. And I only recognized it because I got this zoom lens, because before this I only used it with prime zoom, not prime zooms, with fixed length primes. And to be precise, with a 28mm AIS, a 24mm AIS and a 50mm AIS. And the problem with a too short flange distance is that the close focus distance is way higher than it should be. And the problem, for example, with the, or let's say why I recognized it, was this Nikkor 3570 3.5 prime zoom here has normally a 0.7 close focusing distance. But with the Fotga, suddenly this distance was 1.2 or 1.3 maybe, I'm not sure now, but it was way higher than it should be. And so I thought, what's wrong with the lens? And I thought the lens is defect, because with the prime zooms, you normally, not prime zooms, with the prime fixed length lenses, you normally have a way shorter close focus distance. For example, with the 28mm I had 0.2 normally, or the original was 0.2. With the 24 it was 0.25. So very close. And with this Fotga adapters, it was a little bit higher, but not that high. For example, you have maybe a 0.3 or 0.4 meter with the Fotga adapters, which is still usable. And so I thought, why not test it out? And I got this used newer revision of the Novoflex. And I have to say that the Novoflex, the older one I had, was crap, because the flange distance was also not perfect. The ring was extremely unstable and it was wobbling extremely. This one is also wobbling a little bit, to be precise. But then I got this one and I recognized suddenly, wow, this lens is really focusable to 0.7 meters. And the second problem is with a too short flange distance that there is an offset at the infinity state. So the infinity state of your lens isn't here where it's marked, it's for example here. And with the Novoflex you get at least very close. You get you still have around 1.5 millimeter of offset or so, but it's way better compared to the Fotga, because with the Fotga, especially if you want to shoot fast a picture, yeah, you always had to search for the infinity state. You reach it, that's not the problem. but first you have the much higher close focusing distance, and you have the too early infinity state. So I don't want and I can't recommend this Fotga adapters, especially for prime zooms or for zooms you want to use. But if you have them already, or you only plan to use them with fixed primes and your follow focus, for example, it's not that of a problem. And if you get them for a few bucks, just get them. But especially since I got the Big-is adapters, and Big-is is one of the biggest adapter producers on eBay, I found, I don't want and I can't recommend the Fotga adapters anymore because, for example, let's first get to this one here. This is the manual lens compatible one without an aperture control ring, and this one is really perfect. Let's say it this way: the close focusing distance is the same, and it has even a better infinity state, because here the infinity state, maybe I only had luck, so don't think that that you also get that perfect adapter, but normally they have a very good quality control. With this adapter I got perfectly infinity state, and also got the 0.7 meters close focus distance, which are normal with this lens. So if you want adapter, a cheap alternative for manual lenses with an aperture control ring, get this Big-is, it's called AI to M443 adapter. So yeah, without aperture control ring. It has no play on both sides. The coding is way better, really, it's much better. And yeah, this is the first alternative. But let's get to the AIG, so the AF SG and AFG compatible adapter from Big-is. And as you can see here, it's like an old sized lens, these so-called Zebra editions. I like the optics. Maybe the Novoflex is looking a little bit more professional. But let's say you only want to use this adapter for testing out a lens or so. Then such an adapter is more than good enough. And I have to say that after the modification, I will show you in a few minutes, it's even better than the Novoflex sometimes. So there's also no play on both sides. There's also a very nice coding. And as you can maybe see here now, there is no ball anymore. And normally with this ball inside, you have the problem that, this is also a problem here with the Fotga, you need a lot of force to get it from the completely closed state to the completely open state. And it's always also jumping into these states. And yeah, as soon as you remove these balls, or it's only one ball to be precise, you have a stepless control for your aperture. And with this stepless control of your aperture, and this is also way better built than this Fotga here, it's really comparable to the Novoflex, you can control your aperture while shooting stepless. And this is really nice, and I will show you this now. To compare it with this, or I will show you the Fotga first. Here is the ball still inside. You hear it's going beyond even. You hear this ball, and you always need force to get it out of these holes, and it's always a little bit annoying. But without the balls, you have nothing. There is a fluid control possible. And this is really nice because while shooting, so you can also adjust the aperture as you like, and you don't need to declick or unclick, or how it's called, your aperture control ring here. You only have to modify your adapter. And I will show you the Novoflex. For example, with the Novoflex, it's also possible to control it stepless, but it's not possible really fluidly because you need much more force. And here, and this is a pro and a con. With this adapter and the modification, and I will show you this modification soon on both adapters, on this Fotga and the Big-is. Here you have a stepless fluid control with this grease here, greased. So you can control it very fluidly. But for example, it's quite hard to let it in a special position. For example, if you handle the camera, you get, or you touch this ring a little bit, and then it's, yeah, the position is offset. And here, this adapter, the Novoflex, it's not dampened. Also here you can adjust it, and then you need more force to move it again. So let's say it this way: if you want to have a working aperture adapter, which you can even use with a follow focus system, because for example you can mount such a gear on it, which is not that of a problem, and then even use your follow focus to move your aperture, and this is really nice. I already tested it. Yeah, then this adapter is better if you want a working aperture. But if you want to preset an aperture on an AF, SG or AFG lens, the Novoflex is better. And I will show you now how fluidly it's now possible with the lens. Where is the point? Here's the point. And I will show you this now, and I hope that you can see this. This is now stepless control. You maybe know it from some Russian lenses, but now it's even possible, for example, to use this adapter as a stepless control without declicking your lens. And so you can also adjust the aperture while shooting. And this is worth a lot, I think, because aperture control while shooting is, yeah, really nice to have. And I will show you now how to open up this adapter here. For example, this is the Big-is adapter, and you only need such a screwdriver here, for example, or a adjustable wrench, or so this lens opening thingy with these 2 points where you can open the lenses and so on with 2 fingers or points, or how it's called. And yeah, but you can also open it up with one screwdriver. There is a hole, and here is a hole. I don't know if you can see it here and here. And as soon as you turn it counterclockwise, and it's already loosened a little bit, you can see that you can unscrew this completely. And as soon as you unscrew this part here completely, and I will not unscrew it now because it's already greased perfectly, you can unscrew this, you can move this ring from the adapter, then clean up the complete adapter because there's already a little bit of grease inside, remove the small spring and the ball, and add such grease. This is standard grease, yeah, you can get at a local store or so. And as soon as you greased it, move it a lot. Don't screw in, or okay, I forgot to mention this before. You can also, or you also have to unscrew this screw here. This is the aperture pin screw. And as soon as you unscrew this here, you can also remove this ring, and then, yeah, move it a lot, and again and again and again. So don't screw in this first, and first turn it, and then the grease is coming out on all sides. And yeah, if you do it a lot, then there's no grease coming out anymore, and then it's greased perfectly and you can use it. And this method is also possible with the Fotga. You can see here is this hole, and where's the other hole? Okay, here's only one hole. So also use the screwdriver counterclockwise, and as you can see, it's also the same here. Just unscrew this ring here with this hole, then unscrew the aperture pin control screw thingy here, and then remove everything and grease it, and that's it. And you get such a nice aperture control adapter, which is even usable with a follow focus system, or you can use your follow focus system with it, let's say it this way. But let's compare my 2 favorites, or let's say my 3 favorites. So when should you buy the Novoflex? When should you buy the Big-is adapters, which are really nice? This adapter is the best option if you only want to use such manual lenses here, and yeah, if you don't need an aperture control ring, because here is also a big pro, and this is quality-wise, this adapter here without the aperture control ring is quality-wise also nearly the same like the Novoflex. Coding, play, there's absolutely no play, and the mounting is also as good as the Novoflex. But yeah, let's get to the AF-SG and AFG adapter. But here is the problem. First, this is a little bit unstable. So the locking isn't the best one. There's always a little bit of wobbling. So this adapter I only want to recommend, or it's only perfect usable if you are using it with a follow focus system, because otherwise it's also too easy to readjust the aperture. Because for example, this one is perfect if you want to adjust it once and then it stays. And don't forget to mark here, for example, or here, for example, also at which state or which aperture you have. And this you can do by adjusting. I will show you this fast. You can do this by readjusting or pre-adjusting, let's say it this way. For example, you want to know where 5.6 is. And as you can see here, it's now limited by the lens aperture control, and you can control it from 5.6 up to 3.5 with the adapter. And I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can see it. And now, for example, you know exactly when the adapter is getting to the 5.6. And now you can mark this, for example, here, because this is this is the full open state. And now I'm at the 5.6 state, and now I can make the marking, or I'm at the 8 state, for example, and mark again. And so it's possible also to mark such an adapter, or to use such an adapter more precise. Yeah, so these are my two favorites. All in all, this one is always usable. It's not that easy to readjust it, but it's extremely expensive. And it's not usable with follow focus systems because it's too stiff, the aperture control ring. This one is the best alternative solution because there's absolutely no play compared to this one. This one has a little bit of play with Big-is, so it's not the perfect solution. But yeah, if you want a stepless control, this is the only solution which is possible. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope that I showed you everything I planned to show you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I always try to help everyone who is asking me questions. And yeah, if you want a more detailed video about the modification, I maybe show it again, or I maybe open up an adapter more precise, although there's not that much to show. And to be precise, this modification is also possible, for example, and I can show you this with Big-is Canon FD adapter to micro four thirds. I also modified it already, so there's no ball anymore inside. And as you can see here, it's also really nice and fluid and smooth, no squeaking, no problems at all. And yeah, so this method is also usable with many other adapters, and yeah, keep it in mind if you buy an adapter, that it's possible to modify them. Yeah, that's it. Again, too long, sorry. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like. There will come many other videos. I will maybe also make a adapter series or lens series, whatever, which lenses I recommend for the GH2 and which lenses are the best options for the GH2, GH3, so the micro four thirds system in general. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. Bye.